Welcome to The Explainer. You know, applying for a visa can feel super overwhelming, right? Well, today, we're going to crack that code. We'll turn what seems like a really confusing process into a simple, clear path you can actually follow.
All right, so here's our game plan. First, we'll cover the basics. Then we'll figure out which visa you actually need, how to conquer all that paperwork, what to expect in the big interview, and finally, what happens after you've done it all.
So, first things first, what even is a visa? Let's just break down the whole concept before we jump into the nitty-gritty of applying.
You know, maybe you're dreaming of an amazing vacation, or starting a new job, or even going to school in another country. Whatever that dream is, the journey almost always kicks off with one really important official step.
Okay, so here it is. The best way to think about a visa isn't as some kind of barrier, it's more like your official key. It's basically the government of that country giving you a permission slip that says, yep, you can come in, but only for this reason and for this amount of time.
All right, so we've established you need a key. But which one? You wouldn't use your house key to start your car, right? Same idea here. Not all visas open the same doors, so picking the right one from the get-go is absolutely crucial. And this right here, this is probably the most important question you have to answer before you even think about filling out a form. Why are you going? Seriously, is it a vacation, school, a new job? Your answer to that one question is going to shape the entire process. So let's look at the main categories. You've got your tourist visa for fun stuff like vacations. Then there's the student visa if you're going to school. A work visa is for, well, working. And a business visa is for things like meetings. And listen, applying for the wrong type is a super common mistake, but it's one that can get you an instant no. So you've got to get this part right.
All right, let's get into the heart of it, the paperwork. I know. This is the part that seems really daunting. But honestly, it's just a matter of being prepared and paying really close attention to the details. Think of this as your four-step roadmap. First, you check exactly what they need from you. Passport, photos, all that. Second, you fill out the application form, and I mean accurately. Double, triple check it. Third, you gather all the extra stuff they ask for. And last, you pay the fee. And just a heads up, it's almost always non-refundable, so you won't get it back. And then you book your interview. See? Just take it one step at a time.
And hey, here are a few pro tips to make this whole thing go smoother. Number 1, start early. Seriously, this can take weeks, sometimes even months. Number 2, just be honest. If you're not, any little inconsistency can look like a major red flag. And finally, follow the instructions perfectly, and please keep copies of every single thing you submit.
Okay, now for the part that can make people the most nervous, the interview. This is where you're not just a stack of papers anymore, you're a real person having a conversation. So let's figure out what the visa officer is really trying to learn about you.
When it comes down to it, pretty much the whole interview boils down to one single, massive question. Are you going to go back home? That's it. Your entire goal during that conversation is to prove to them, without a doubt, that the answer is yes. So, how do you prove you're coming back? Well, you do it by showing what are called your ties to your home country. Just picture them like strong anchor ropes. They're all the things and responsibilities that are pulling you back home, things you can't just leave behind.
Okay, so what are these ties in the real world? We're talking about things like having a stable job, owning a house or a car, maybe having a spouse and kids, family commitments. Every single one of these is a piece of proof that you've got a life to get back to. The more you have, the better. Next up, they need to know you can pay your own way. Can you actually afford this trip without having to work illegally or ask for help? And the way you prove this is usually pretty straightforward. Bank statements. You just have to show you've got the funds to cover your trip.
And this is where your assets come in. Things like a house, a car, maybe some investments. They do double duty. They show you're financially stable, and they act as another one of those strong ties we were talking about. It all points to you having a solid foundation to come back to.
So you've done it. You've handed in all the papers, you've aced the interview, you've made your case. So what happens now? Let's talk about the final stretch.
Okay, after the interview comes the waiting game. Your application is officially in processing, and this could take a few days or it could take several weeks. The best advice I can give you here is just be patient. And please don't book any flights or hotels you can't cancel until you have that visa physically in your hands.
And once it's approved and you get it, there's one last super important step. Check it carefully. Look for any typos in your name, check the dates, everything. A tiny little error could turn into a huge headache at the airport, so make sure it's all perfect before you even think about packing.
And that's pretty much it. I know the whole visa process can feel like a giant, complicated maze, but if you just understand why you're going, get your documents in order, and clearly show you plan to come back home, you can totally get through it. It's not just about the paperwork, right? It's your key to a brand new adventure. So, the real question is, what doors are you going to unlock?